Hi there, welcome to my views and news. Can you hear me, viewers? Thank you for responding with yes. Let me welcome the participants. Interesting topic today, viewers. Exclusive information for you about the predicament which the Ethiopian government, Ethiopian PM could be in coming days. So I have details for you. I will explain what is cooking up against the Ethiopian Prime Minister. Let me welcome the participants first. Simon Tisfai, welcome Simon. Atmas Gandinka, Rufail is first member who joined. Special welcome, Rufail. Rufail, I like Rufail's comments. He appreciates my work. Thank you, Rufail. Thank you for being a member. Med Abdu Ali here. Mihari joined to welcome Mihari. Kame Have. It means, how are you? Integrity. Am I right, Mehari? I'm fine. How are you? I have learned one word so far of any two words. Kame is from Tigrinya and Sallazi means therefore, I think. It's an Amharic word. When I see translations, audio translations, I hear this word a lot. Sallazi. It means therefore, so. Am I right? We have Salam Self, El Pas, Mekonnen Micha here. Welcome, Mekonnen. Med Abdu Ali is asking a question about Somaliland Abiy meeting. Okay, I'll speak a little about it. Malcolm Ageshan. Aman is right on time tonight. Welcome, Aman. Mostly Aman is late. Aman is also a member. Special welcome, brother. Hami here. Ami says, nice to see you now for your brief analysis and news. Thank you, Sammy. Ami. Uh, we have Shafo. Welcome, Shafo. Shafo is also a member, one of the first members when I lost membership over a year ago. Good to see you, Shafo. We have Hadush Kebrig Gizabar Mitik Kodema. Sabaka Sahir, Samuel Mariam, a fourth member who joined today. Welcome, Samuel. Says, Aap kaise ho, Sajid bhai? I'm fine, Samuel. How are you, brother? We have Elfes Girialta here, Yosedik, Namibian Audacity joined, Bonsa Merga, Vanao, Bakele, uh, Meetup Times, Abodi, Aman Washe, Kirubil, Ephraim, Valdala, Musi Haptis, Escol, Tafra, Birhano, interesting. Beetham, Gob is joined, welcome Beetham. Vanao, Tahir Muhammad, News and Silla. Dani Usman here. We have Adan Ali, Yudaite Fikade, Afra Birhano, Sol. Yeah, my internet connection froze a little. I'm back. Guracha here. Your hub, Elvon. Please don't write the same comment again and again, Adan Ali, because if you write one comment again and again, I won't be able to read other Samuel says you used to upload members only exclusive content in the past. Why is it discontinued? Yeah, I should restart it, I think. Hopefully, I'll do. My internet connection is getting disconnected again and again. Can you hear me? How is audio? Okay, okay, okay. By the way, viewer contacted me. He sent me an email. He said, Sajid, there are several viewers in live chats who ask to finish chat quickly. They say, speak. Well, she's really bad tonight. It will improve. It might improve. Just stick with me. It will improve. I think sometimes there is brief hiccup in internet connection here. We don't need to disconnect. I think we should continue. It will improve. And I'll start speaking once connection is good. Saifu Muhammad is calling me enemy of Ethiopia and Ethiopians. All day he writes such comments in comment section. And he knows that My Views and News is the only channel where he's allowed to write such nonsense. And still he Ethiopia. Yeah, Guraj, serious internet issues, but I think sometimes it improves after a few minutes. That is why I'm here. If I know that it won't improve, then I'll end the live chat and I'll do a video on this topic. So stick with me. If I cannot continue, then I'll do a video. Topic is of importance. I'll do a video if internet connection does not improve. It will improve, I think. Birhano James said, did I miss anything? Nothing. What you missed so far is that internet connection is poor. I'm waiting for it to improve. It will improve, and then I'll start. Thank you, Yusuf Zere. Okay, how is the quality of audio now? Should I continue? Should I do a video? Well, it's not normal, but it's better. Before I come to main topic, before I come to main topic, I want to point out uh, two developments which I reported about. I want to say a few words about them, and then I'll come to the topic. Meanwhile, connection will improve more, I think. Firstly, several viewers criticized me. They said, Sajid, you misinterpreted what Avil Saeed said. Avil did not call for the removal of Tadesse Varede. You got wrong translation. You are spreading false information about Eritrea, about Eritrea Tigray relations. Well, listen carefully to the entire speech of Avil Saeed and then draw a conclusion. You will reach the same conclusion that Avil, through that video, tried to create mistrust between Varede and TPLF. He implied that Varede is in secret talks with Abiy, and he suggested removal of Varede. This is what he implied. Translation was not wrong. I cannot give you word for word translation. It's not possible for me. I think message was clear, but I know that pro-Eritrean government people, they were not happy with the video. They started a campaign in the comment section. Translation is wrong. You don't know the local language, etc. But I think the message was clear that Avil implied that Varede is not reliable. This is what he said. This is what he meant. Firstly. Secondly, the dangerous trend which I am seeing in the Amhara region should not continue. Now, Fano supporters won't be happy with what I'm going to say, but I'm not here to appease people. I'm not here to make people happy. I am here to speak the truth. I think these stories about female Fano fighters suffering mutilation are now going too far. They made a claim about Halem. Then they made a second claim about another Panit, that her body was mutilated by ENDF soldiers. Breasts were cut in Wallo. Why are they making these claims? You know what a Nole monument is built in RC Oromia? You know what Oromo Group say? Oromo Group say that Menelik, Emperor Menelik, cut Oromo women's breasts. He committed a genocide of Oromos. Millions of Oromos were killed. And to remember that, Oromos have built a monument. in RC, Oromia, with the breast of a female on a hand. So these groups in Amhara, basically they're suggesting that Oromo army is taking revenge for what Menelik allegedly did to Oromo women. I think it's a very dangerous propaganda. It's a very dangerous propaganda. This propaganda has ethnic color. It will make this conflict more deadly, more dangerous. It should not continue, I think. What will ENDF gain from cutting the breasts of a female fighter? They have killed the female fighter. Why would they cut their breasts? It's propaganda. War propaganda. Dangerous propaganda. It happens during wars. Not all atrocities claimed by Tegarai were true. Some were lies. Yes, propaganda is part of the conflict, but this propaganda has an ethnic consequence too. That is why these Fano groups need to be very careful. They should not spread propaganda which could pit Oromos against Amharas. That could be deadly. I think now I can start. No disconnection. So let's start now. Now, exclusive information for you is from the US. You know that Donald Trump, the US president, visited Egypt to sign the ceasefire agreement peace agreement between Israel and Hamas. Arab leaders, Middle Eastern leaders, Muslim leaders were there. And a day before the arrival of Donald Trump, Egyptian president gave a strong statement about GERD, the dam, saying that Egypt will use all measures to ensure that its water rights are respected. But Trump did not say a word. So what happened? Did Trump give a commitment to Al-Sisi? Now, main issue for Al-Sisi is GERD. The other main issue has been solved. Trump and Israel wanted Palestinians of Gaza to be settled in Egypt. Egypt refused. Issue solved. Main issue now for Al-Sisi is GERD. Al-Sisi wants Trump to put pressure on Ethiopia about GERD. So what did Donald Trump promise to Sisi? Did you hear anyone report about it? No. I've been working on it. And tonight, just an hour ago, one of my friends contacted me. Very reliable. And he just told me what happened. What is Egypt's plan? What is Trump's promise? What did Trump promise to Al-Sisi? And how is this promise going to be honored about GERD, the dam? Well, what I have learned is that Donald Trump, the US president, told Al-Sisi, Abdul Fattah al-Sisi, Egyptian president, that the Trump government will try its best to make Ethiopia and Egypt sign an agreement about GERD in Washington. Sisi has been promised that Trump government will force Ethiopia to come to the table and sign an agreement in the US. Jonathan Pratt is former ambassador. He served as American ambassador to Djibouti for 2 years, I think. And now he's serving as the head of US State Department Africa Bureau. So now he's US State Department official. Jonathan has been tasked with starting initial talks between Egypt and thank you, Beatam, for buying the super chat sticker. Jonathan has been tasked with starting lower level. Sorry, not feeling well these days. I'm suffering from sore throat and cold. So Jonathan has been tasked with starting uh, talks between Ethiopia and Egypt. Senior, not senior, but you can say mid-level delegations are going to start talks. Trump wants Ethiopia to sign a legally binding agreement with Egypt in Washington. If Ethiopia does not agree to participate in talks, financial sanctions could be imposed. So far, the American officials are telling their Ethiopian counterparts that Ethiopia will have to talk to Egypt. Ethiopia will have to sign a technical agreement with Egypt. And if Ethiopia does not want to talk to Egypt, it could face serious financial sanctions. Financial sanctions. You know what Ethiopia is going through these days? You know the declining value of birr against dollar. Just 2 days ago, you saw that Ethiopian talks with its creditors failed. Talks about rescheduling, I think, of loan payment. Then yesterday we heard that Ethiopia has requested more financial support from IMF and World Bank. It means that Ethiopian economy is totally relying on support from US backed institutions. If US withdraws, if US just decides to punish Ethiopia, Ethiopian economy could take a serious hit. Firstly. Secondly, Donald Trump is in a position sorry, difficult for me to continue because of the problem I'm facing. Anyway, the Trump government is threatening Ethiopia that Ethiopian profitable entities could be put under sanctions. Now, imagine that Donald Trump government decides to impose sanctions on Ethiopian Airlines. Imagine what will happen. Ethiopian Airlines is one of the most profitable Ethiopian entity. Earns billions of US dollars. Imagine that Trump government imposes sanctions on Ethiopian coffee exports. What will happen? Financial sanctions can cripple Ethiopian economy, Ethiopian government. Trump does not need to wage war on Ethiopia. He does not need to just declare Ethiopian ambassador persona non grata. With a single stroke of pen, Trump can inflict damage to Ethiopian economy, which could be difficult to be handled by this economy. And we know that Trump uh, has been saying that it was Ethiopia which withdrew from signing an agreement last time when Trump mediated between Ethiopia and Egypt in his last tenure. The two sides reached a deal when the time had come to sign the deal. At the last minute, Ethiopian delegation withdrew. And Trump was not happy with the Ethiopian government back then. Now he wants to correct that mistake. Egypt on his side, issue of Gaza settled. Ethiopia will have to listen to the Trump government. That's why I said Ethiopian PM in trouble. The man who is dreaming of gaining. AGOA is already banned. Ethiopia does not have access to AGOA. It was removed from AGOA over 2 years ago. Trump is not restoring access in AGOA for Ethiopia. So while Ethiopian PM is planning to march towards Assab to gain control of Assab, but maybe he knows what is cooking up in Washington. What is happening in Washington is going to be a challenge for this government. All the plans of this government to wage wars on TPLF or Eritrea are going to need a serious review because a major challenge is going to come from Egypt. Thank you, Shafo, for buying the super chat sticker. Now, what will Ethiopia do? I mean, Ethiopian PM will have to talk to Egypt. Soon you will hear the news. Soon you will see. Soon you will hear the news of negotiations between Ethiopia and Egypt. US might not appear, but behind the negotiations will be the US, firstly. And soon you will hear that the two sides are willing to make progress. How will Ethiopian PM now counter the situation? I think it's going to be the biggest challenge for the Ethiopian PM since the end of war, I would say. Tigray war was challenging. Tigray fighters managed to reach Shoa. But I think the second biggest challenge is coming now. How will he handle? If he signs an agreement with Egypt, a legally binding agreement, it will be difficult for him to sell this agreement at home in Ethiopia. Ethiopians, by the way, they see Egypt as a rival. So it's difficult for Ethiopian PM to convince Ethiopians to sign such an agreement. How will he handle? Let's see. If there is uh, Ethiopia versus Egypt issue, Abiy can play several cards. Egypt on its own perhaps cannot force Ethiopia. Even if Egypt and Eritrea make allies, even the two cannot force Ethiopia, but US can force Ethiopia. I just shared a glimpse of Ethiopian economy. I can do a detailed video on that. Abiy will have to listen to Trump. Now, just a quick conclusion. Abiy can only come out of this crisis. That's my suggestion or my analysis. He can only come out of this crisis or challenge if he links deal with Egypt to deal with Eritrea. This is what he should do, I think. He should tell the Trump government that yes, we are ready to sign a deal with Egypt about GERD, but we want access to sea. We want a region where all the countries in the region are on good terms. We want economic integration. We want access to sea. So we want Eritrea to be on board. If you remember, a few weeks ago in a live chat, I suggested a tripartite solution to the problems in the Horn of Africa. I think regular viewers would corroborate. Regular viewers would agree to my suggestion and they would back what I said almost 2 weeks ago. I said that solution is tripartite agreement. Ethiopia should link its agreement with Egypt to its agreement with Eritrea. And by the way, if it happens that Eritrea, Egypt, and Ethiopia somehow they reach an agreement, backed by Americans, maybe Europeans too, that could usher in an era of peace in this region. What's wrong with that? Eritrea can earn billions of dollars. It can get guarantees, security guarantees. Egypt and Ethiopia can considerably improve the relations, leading to bilateral agreements about cooperation. Sudan can be involved as well. If a tripartite agreement happens, that could be the starting point of peace and stability for the Horn of Africa. US does not have real leverage to pressurize Eritrea. US has no leverage. I mean, it can only use military option. US cannot cripple Eritrean economy. It cannot impose sanctions. If it does, the sanctions won't be of any significance. Eritrea has been under sanctions. Eritrea removed from SWIFT. So either the US will have to convince Eritrea by offering something to Eritrea, or the US will have to use force to convince Eritrea. Ethiopia, if it knows how to negotiate, will have to link its deal with Egypt to deal with Eritrea. That's my suggestion. I'm not saying that this is what Ethiopia is going to do. Talks have not begun so far. Jonathan Pratt has been tasked with starting the talks. Talks have not begun. But this is what Ethiopia should do. What should Eritrea do? Eritrea should ensure that it gets all the guarantees which it needs. It should ensure that it earns billions of dollars from handling Ethiopian imports, exports. Egypt only wants security security of the water use, that Ethiopia won't build more dams, that Ethiopia will intimate Egypt about how much water is being stored, how much water is being released. All that can happen. Let's see how will it happen. We'll have to wait. But if it happens, that could just end conflicts in the Horn of Africa. Suddenly, you could see peace between Ethiopia and Eritrea, between Ethiopia and Sudan, Ethiopia and Egypt. That could be start of an era of peace and stability. But let's see, because these leaders and these countries, they don't trust each other. Ethiopia does not trust Egypt. Eritrea does not trust Abiy even a bit. No trust. They need someone to assure that they should sit, they should talk, they should build the trust, and solutions can be found. Let's see. Interesting times ahead. We were talking about war a few weeks ago, a few days ago. War-like situation in Amhara region. And now another big development going to unfold in coming weeks. DSG, a member, says it would not satisfy Abiy. He is more interested in stationing his new navy in Assab. Economic integration is just a cover up. Well, then he should be ready to be under sanctions. Can his economy survive? Shomit, I'll do a video on that if there is anything important about the visit. Birhano says, you are amazingly balanced today. You should be like this every day. I try to be balanced, but people have their own loyalties. They won't find me balanced all the time. Jaden says, US security guarantee for Eritrea is unacceptable to Ethiopia. Will it be acceptable to the Eritrean government, by the way? JK, what is your question? DSG says, yes, but these leaders are not rational actors. Yeah, that's what I fear. That level of mistrust is so high between these leaders that it's very difficult to convince all of them to come to the table and sign an agreement for the betterment of the region, the people. T&O says, responding to DSG, Eritrea will not allow Imperial Ethiopia, even an inch on its land. This is the issue. You see, Jacob says, what is Israel's stand on God and the binding agreement Egypt is so eager to sing? Well, I think Israel will try to create issues, to be honest. Israel will support, Israel won't like this type of comprehensive agreement involving Egypt, Ethiopia, and Eritrea. It would like Egypt to be involved in a conflict. Israel wants its neighbors perhaps to be in conflicts. That's what it has been doing. It was 43 minutes have passed. It was difficult for me to continue because of internet speed and because of my health issues. But I have done the live chat completed. I think we should leave now. Thank you for tolerating me. Hopefully, I'll get better tomorrow. Then we can have a longer live chat. Do write your comments about the information I shared with you. What should Ethiopia do? What should Egypt do? What should uh, Eritrea do? Thanks for watching. Stay blessed. See you tomorrow. Bye bye.